Hey there. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. This is Dr. Eric Abbott. I'm a family medicine physician who has experience in internal medicine, and I've dealt with a lot of mental health issues with my patients. I am not a therapist. I am not a mental health practitioner, at least not yet, but I do have a lot of insight into various types of mental illness and mental health disorders, particularly OCD. And I wanted to put out a message today regarding Thanksgiving in particular. Someone told me the audio wasn't super, so I'm going to be holding this. So I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. By the way, I send blessings and peace to everyone today. I hope you have a good time with your family and you're able to just enjoy and have some peace and togetherness and love. That's the whole point of Thanksgiving in the first place. And however, we know that the holidays in general, and a lot of times Thanksgiving in particular, can be a very difficult, stressful time for people that are dealing with all manner of mental health issues, including OCD. And that's because, in my estimation, in my opinion, lots of OCD can originate from unresolved family issues. You can have unresolved family issues in the form of coming from a workaholic family, coming from a perfectionistic family, coming from a broken family, a family that's gone through a divorce, or just coming from a family that has unresolved issues in general, unspoken grievances, unaddressed grievances, or issues that were never laid to rest, things that were never forgiven or forgotten. For some reason, a lot of that stuff tends to come up over the holidays. And a lot of time, people with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, again, in my estimation, in my opinion, one of the reasons that we ended up developing OCD was because we were the fixers of the family. We were the peacemakers. We were the empaths who absorbed a lot of the negative emotions that were floating around in the air, the uncomfortable silences, the walking on eggshells sensation, the sense of tension in the air that's difficult to place one's finger on, and feeling like everything was always your fault because there was this tension or this anger or this lack of peace floating in the air. Either because the origin of those feelings, sensations, and so forth were projected onto you, or just because you decided that it must be you because no one else in your immediate environment could possibly be wrong. Your parents are perfect. They can't be wrong. Your siblings are perhaps older and more achieved and wiser. They can't be wrong. It must be you. Or you could be a middle child and the youngest child could never be wrong, something along those lines. And so a lot of times these people with OCD were the fixers. They were the peacemakers. They were the envoys. They were the buffer in that environment, the people that were constantly trying to make everything okay. Even if it just meant holding space for all of that anger and unrest and tension floating in the air. And so I feel that we took a lot of that tendency into our adult lives, and we manifest that in various types of obsessions and compulsions to be in control of our environment, whether it be the the physical environment or the relationship or a set of work obligations, or whether it be religiosity or any other type of OCD. And this is not a talk about the subtypes, but these are various different subtypes that can occur. And so when we get with family then during these holidays, oftentimes people fall into their roles. Father slips into the father role, mom slips into the mother role, the adult children are the babies again, or the adolescents, and unspoken grievances and unresolved issues come to the surface and energies start moving around. And it can make the person that's been absorbing all this stuff in the past when you were growing up, now that you're back in that environment again, your anxieties come up. And there's a tendency to get really triggered for no apparent reason. And it's easier to get triggered during these gatherings. And so I think the thing to remember is that you're at a higher risk for getting triggered or for your OCD getting worse during these family gatherings. To realize that it could potentially happen to you and to not get surprised if it happens. So if you're having more intrusive thoughts, if you're feeling more unsettled, if you're feeling more unrest, if you're feeling lots of guilt for no apparent reason, if you're feeling like you should be getting up and doing something, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean, and why are you sitting here? And or there's this, that, the other thing that's wrong with your immediate environment. Your fork is in the wrong place, your spoon is in the wrong place, or you contaminated that knife. All these things that are now on steroids because you're in this stilted environment, this environment of stress, however it is that your OCD manifests. I'm just picking a few contamination examples. It's just good to be in observation mode, be mindful of that, realize that, okay, my OCD is flaring now because I'm with my family of origin. Try to stay in observation mode, try to take breaks, get up and get a glass of water, go to the bathroom, stretch. When people make wayward comments, little poking comments at you to bully or to tease or to blame shift or to try to hand the bag of unresolved family crap over to you in whatever form, you can just set it aside in gray rock technique, meaning just be very neutral and very unreactive. And you don't have to take that bag. It doesn't belong to you. It's no longer your obligation to carry the family issues. And if you're getting flared up, you can practice self-compassion and self-awareness and realize, okay, I'm getting flared up now. I'm getting tense. I'm getting cultivated. I'm getting triggered. And it's okay to also know when to say when. And you might decide to leave sooner than the rest of the family, or you might decide to go over to someone else's house for a while, or you might decide to go take that phone call for half an hour, or you might decide to go read a book or watch a movie on your own in that immediate environment. You don't necessarily have to stick in that one area and be the catcher's mitt, be the receptacle for all of this stuff. You just don't have to do that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This time is meant to be peaceful and loving, and it's meant to be enjoyed. It is not meant for you to absorb all of your family's crap and then get triggered. So I hope that helps someone today, and I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving. more to come in the future. I always refer people over to the IOCDF website for lots of resources and definitions and things like that and ways to get set up in treatment. So www.iocdf.org. I will put that the link in the description. If you can give me a thumbs up on this video, if you liked it, that will help to push it out to other people that need it. And God bless you all. And I just hope you have a wonderful holiday. All right, be safe.